In this video, I'll give you a quick overview of how PSIGEN PSICapture integrates with the Alfresco ECM system. So just to give you some background, PSIGEN makes advanced capture software. We do all kinds of fun things from reading barcodes to harvesting pre-existing scanned documents. We have an expression extraction engine as well as OCR, ICR capabilities. So lots of different feature sets, very feature-rich product that you can do all types of things with. In this example or this demonstration, what I did is I installed Alfresco out of the box. I built a site called Legal Correspondence, and you can see I'm logged in as admin. And you can see that there's really nothing in the space right now. What I'm going to do with PSICapture is scan and extract data from documents and then route them into the ECM system so you can see them, view them, share them, kick off workflows, things like that. So let's go back to PSICapture. A little bit about the product. You can run it in interactive mode like you see here. You also have the ability to run it in fully automated mode. Now in that mode, we can harvest documents from hot folders, SharePoint libraries. If you have a write fax server, we can ingest fax documents, process them, and route them. Those are kind of boring demos because I drop things in a directory and they magically appear in Alfresco. So in this example, I'm going to walk you through an interactive processing example. This particular one is a mailroom automation demo that we have in several law firms where we process inbound correspondence. Now, on the left-hand side of the product, you've got all the different workflow modules that you can use to process work. I'm going to click on the capture module to kick off the process. Now note, we can import from a directory, which I'll do. I pre-scan some documents. We also have the ability to link to Twain, ISIS, and VRS scanners, and we can switch back and forth between import and scan functionality. So, from a configuration perspective, PSICapture lets you create a configuration called a document type, which is really just a combination of all the different settings and classes that you can use to process documents. In this example, I've built one called Alfresco Mailroom Processing. And if I click on that demo, you can see that it'll shoot me into a default directory. And I can import individual files. I have the ability to pick multiple files. I can even do what's called harvesting. So I can choose to select the entire directory and consume everything within a series of folders. A lot of customers that use this to migrate pre-scanned documents into back-end systems. We can do OCR and extract data on the fly. So it's a real nice feature if you're looking to pump documentation into an ECM system. But in this particular demo, I'm just going to select an individual file. I've got a pre-scanned TIFF that I'm going to bring into the system, and I'm going to kick off capture. So batch-centric scanning application, everything is done via batch. We keep track of everything that's done with that batch. There's a full audit trail history, full reporting engine built into the product, so lots of fancy features in there. So let's go ahead and kick this off. And it's going to suck in these TIFFs. And you can see one of the challenges that this particular customer had is that they're looking to extract data that can be anywhere on the page. And for this firm, it's a file number, which equates to their case number. So that file number can be in the header, it can be in the paragraph, it can be in the lower left corner. So the real challenge is traditional zone OCR technology wouldn't work, because it moves all around the page. So we're going to use our pattern matching engine called Advanced Data Extraction to go ahead and search for those patterns throughout the OCR text and auto-extract them. So now that I've captured the documentation, I'm going to let the product go through pre-OCR and look for those patterns of those file numbers. Once it's done, it's going to pop me into my quality assurance view, where I'm going to get a nice pretty spreadsheet representation with a row for each document. So you can see that I've auto-extracted all this information. I've actually also bounced this off a case management database to make sure that it's valid. If it wasn't, I could throw an exception or a validation error and move it into an exceptions queue for later processing and continue processing the rest of my documents. But in this case, they're all valid. So I've got 2 bits of metadata here. You can see I've got the file number and the document type. Note that I can not only use QA for checking my data, but I've also got tree view capability. So in tree view, I've got batch, folder, document, and page level representation. I can do interactive and automated redaction. I can crop, insert, replace. I have the ability to print or save pages as well as put PDF bookmarks. We've also got a full image processing engine. So we can do everything at the point of capture or as a follow-on workflow step, from border removal to automatic orientation, despeckle, deskew. We can even trigger image processing on certain criteria or characteristics of a document. Okay. We've also got some real powerful slicing and dicing capabilities where we can auto flag, separate, we can auto redact, we can bait stamp for law firms, all using QA auto processing steps. So some real power for document processing here in the product as well. Okay. So once I'm complete, I'll go ahead and move on. In this particular example, I'm going to do OCR interactively at the workstation, and then I'm going to migrate my documents to Alfresco. Now I'm doing something interesting here. When I open up the connection to Alfresco, I'm going to create a separate space for each of the file numbers. So when I do that, now when I scan follow-on documents for that file or case, they'll go into that same workspace. Okay. It's a nice dynamic feature. It's all done dynamically based on characteristics that we find or extract from the document. So if we come into Alfresco now that my whole process is complete, and I come back into my site, I'll go ahead and refresh, and I go into my correspondence, you're going to see now that I've got spaces that are built for each of those file or case numbers. So I told SiCapture, take the file or case number, look for a pre-existing space. If it doesn't exist, auto-create it. Auto-create that space, drop in a searchable PDF that is named by the case number dash document type. All of that done automatically in a standardized way every time you scan and process. So some real great features. I've shown you about 3% of what the SiCapture product can do, but I just wanted to give you a taste of the types of things you can do with our new Alfresco integration. If you have any questions, you can shoot a note to sales@PSIGEN.com, and we'll get right back to you. Thanks very much.